Welcome to Smart Architectural Programming. Today, we're diving into an exciting topic, Python expressions.
In example 5, we're looking into the logical AND operator and its expression. And simply we create two variables. On line 2, we create an A variable with the value true. And in line B, we create a false variable called B. And then on line 4, we equate the result variable with the AND logical operator for A and B. So what happens here is A and B. So AND gate always means that both values must be true for the output to be true. So as Python processes this, if A and B both are true, the result that is going to be the value that's going to be saved in the result variable is going to be true. If any single one of them is false, the value is going to be false. And if both are false, the value is going to be false. So when we print the result, we see the output is false because the B variable is false. Moving further, in example 6, we do create a logical OR expression. Again, we create the same two variables with the same two values. In the case of line 10, you can see we create the logical the logical expression here between A or B. So in OR logical operator or expression, simply put, if either one of them is true, the value is going to be true. And if either one of them is if both of them is false, only then the value will be false. So it's relatively the opposite of the AND gate, where both need to be true for the output to be true. In the OR gate, both need to be false for the output to be false. And as you can see, the output here is true because A is true. And the last example, example number 7 here, is the logical NOT expression. We save just one variable here called A and equate its value to true. The result processes not A. So not A basically means that we're looking for the opposite value of what is saved in A. So hence the result is a false basically. So with that out of the way, we'll move on to the next expressions that we're going to look into, which are string expressions. So these are going to be different than the previous two that we discussed. This is directly related to the string data type. So here we have two examples. One, a string concatenation example, and another example, example 9, string repetition example. So we create two variables. On line 2, we create greeting variable and save the value hello within that. We create on line 3 a name variable called Alice, and line 4 we create a variable called message, which processes the expression greeting plus empty string with a space plus name. So the plus operator, when used strictly with strings, helps in string concatenation. If you don't understand what string concatenation is, simply speaking, string concatenation is when two strings are joined together. So if supposedly we did, let's comment this out. So let me explain this, by running this code. So if you look at this specific expression and we remove the space, empty space here, and do just a normal simple concatenation operation. So when we run this code, you'll see it saved hello and Alice, has joined them to the hip, right? There's no space in between. We concatenate two strings. It just immediately joins them together like a puzzle, right? So most people or most programmers, if needed, create an empty string with a space within that, like this here. And when you run this code, you get the answer that you're looking for, which is hello Alice with a space, because that's the more logical way we can express hello Alice in English language. A computer is a machine that cannot parse or understand exactly what English means. The only thing it understands is binary. It doesn't even understand the Python programming language that we're doing here. It has compilers, interpreters that help it convert the code that we're writing into binary code before it can understand exactly what we want it to do. So it would obviously not understand that hello and Alice, two English words, need a space between them. So that is something we need to do. Keep in mind this, the reason I'm going in so much detail in regards to this is because this is one of the most common mistakes that most beginners would make when they're working with string concatenation initially. So I'm going over this, so at least you can keep this in your head when you're working with string concatenation. It's not a big issue that probably you'll catch it when you look at the output on the console, but it's still something to keep in mind instead of, making this mistake, which could be easily be avoidable. So the next thing we have here is example 9, which is basically string repetition. We have just one string here on line 8 called laugh, and we on line 9 we have a variable called result, which multiplies laugh by 3 using the asterisk operator. Asterisk operator, as we discussed in the previous video of chapter 2, video number 2. If you haven't seen that, please see that. If you haven't read the book, I expect you need to read the book before you're looking at these videos, because any knowledge that you gain from here is going to be a further elucidation of what's already been what's already in the book. So it will help you understand better if you first read the book and then go through the videos sequentially. Don't move up and down and review the videos in whatever order. View the videos in the proper order, especially if you're a beginner. So here the asterisk symbol in line 9 within the variable result means that we're multiplying laugh by 3. So if it's a string that we use an asterisk symbol with, or the multiplication symbol with, or operator with, it usually multiplies the word and just adds tags in more of those words on top of that. So we multiplied ha, which is a laugh, by 3. So the output is ha, ha, ha. It multiplies it by 3. As you can see on line 10, the output. This is the output that we're going to get. If you run the code, you'll see that is the output we get. So that is the output we're getting here. So that is basically what we mean by when we're talking about string repetition. And now that we're done with string expressions, let's move on to the next one, which is called membership expressions. So membership expressions check for a membership within a sequence such as a list, tuple, or string. Now, these are advanced things. You might not be familiar with a string, list, or tuple. Just list and tuples at this stage, but this is something that you might just want to go through quickly, keep in mind. And once you've covered string lists and tuples further in the book, in the later chapters, you can revisit this specific portion of this video to get a better understanding of what we mean by, check for membership within a sequence such as list, so on and so forth.